why don't I take you through so you can talk about your
sure.
thoughts?
That's fine too.
I think that's better than me. Unless you, what do you want?
I have no preference. Whatever you think is the best content. You're our executive producer here on Lords of Limited.
This chief content officer. As the CCO, I think you should talk us through your thought process. That's what I want to hear. Dive into the mind of Benjamin Gates Werney. So pack one, pick one. You sit down and see the following cards as options. Is it Guildgate? Gate's always in consideration, as Ben will tell me. But this isn't a green. It's not a green gate, so less so. But it is a teamer gate, so whatever. So Guildgate, Evolving Wilds, but Wilds isn't in consideration. No commons in consideration. Moving on to the uncommons, I would shout out Anax and Cymede, 1 red, white, 3/2 first strike vigilance. Heroic trigger, pumps your old team for a turn. I would not shout out Dreadhound. I've cooled on that card. I would shout out Anchor to the Ether, 2 and a blue sorcery, put a creature on top of its owner's library, scry 1. And I would definitely shout out your rare Polukranos World Eater, 2GG, 5/5, XXG, Monstrosity X. Monstrous it, gets X counters, deals X damage to divide it as you choose, and then those creatures that you've dealt damage to deal damage equal to their power back to Poly K.
Yeah, this is not what I wanted to open. I played with Polukranos a lot in the format, and it's a tough card. Like, it's not nearly as good in this format as it was in its original format. You really want an Audacity with it to give it trample. It not having trample is a problem. And I almost took Anchor to the Ether over it.
It's basically Juzam Jin, right? I mean, like, it's a 4-mana 5/5. Like,
it's better than that, but like, you're not going nuts, like monstrosing at the next turn very often. I almost took Anchor to the Ether over it because I wanted to play. I wanted to not play green. Like, if I were drafting green, I wanted to be Gates, and I thought Gates was going to be contested, and I did not want to play a base green deck that wasn't Gates. And I thought this was the way to start doing that. So I was kind of bummed that I had to first pick Polukranos over Anchor to the Ether, but I just feel like there's too much of a difference there. And actually, honestly, no joke, I opened 17 lands to check the game in hand win rate, and like, this picture tier list thing came up. It was like a new version of it, and I was like, I don't know what this is, and I just closed out of it. And I was ashamed that I had gone on there to check the game in hand win rate of Polukranos versus Anchor to the Ether. So that's my behind the scenes glimpse into my pack one pick one.
Just in the future, when you have a crisis of faith and want to open 17 lands, you can just click. They still have the old version. It's just next to, there's like whatever tier list version and graph version. You just click graph version.
I was like, what is this sorcery? Like, I actually want to go on and use this website right now. It was totally different looking.
I just know how flustered you were in that moment.
I was very flustered and very ashamed. I was full of shame also.
As the clock is ticking down. I like the Polukranos pick here. I think this is a good pick.
I think it's the quote unquote correct pick. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's got some ripple effects. So
for sure.
Pack 1, pick 2. The only follow up is Clear Shot. 2 and a green instant. Target creature you control gets +1/+1 until end of turn. It deals damage equal to its power to target creature you don't control. There is a Stormtide Leviathan in the pack. 5 blue, 8/8 Island Walk. All lands are islands in addition to other types. Creatures without flying or Island Walk can't attack.
That is an interesting card for you to shout out. Are you telling me if you had taken Anchor to the Ether, you would have taken...
No, I would have taken Jesse and Thief.
Okay. It's like, why are you shouting out Stormtide Leviathan? So the nice thing about Clear Shot here is not only is it the best follow-up for Polukranos, I think it's just the best card in the pack.
It is the best card in the pack. Yeah, I think you're always taking Clear Shot here, if you start Anchor, you take Jesse and Thief.
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah, so you got Polukranos and Clear Shot. And now, like, this is a hard-ish pick, I think, but also it feels like you kind of have to do the thing that I did. So just tell the folks what's in the pack.
Okay, so in the pack, I think, again, I mean, I feel less conflicted about this currently. There's an Honored Hydra in the pack. 5 and a green for a 6/6 with trample, and Embalm for 3 and a green. And the word bomb, or the homonym bomb being in this card, I think is pretty apt because this card is great in my opinion. And I mean, it's the only green card, or the only green card behind Audacity. And so I guess that could make you feel a little bad. And then I would compare it to what is the air quotes best card in the pack. And I'm not sure that if this were pack one, pick one, I would feel that conflicted about it. There is a Kithian in the pack, single white 2/1. Is that what you're talking about?
There's a Kithian, yeah, a single white 2/1 mythic rare at the end of
flip
combat.
planeswalker.
Yeah, the flip planeswalker. So that's there. Jesse and Thief is there. So also the start of Anchor, Jesse and Thief is great, but a different world. Like we're
It's
not
just
in
a
that
different
world
world,
anymore.
and I think worse. I think
Possible.
if this were pack on pick one, would you take Thief over Hydra? I think that's
yes.
Interesting. I'm not sure that I would, and I think it's very close. You would not take Thief over Clear Shot if it were pack on pick one.
No, I would not.
So the cards are close after the fact. I mean, these picks have all been air quotes close, but I think you get the edge with the green picks in all three packs personally. But it is a different path.